Nobody survives a mission to Saturn, not because of one threat, but because of all of them. Minus 130 degrees at the cloud tops alone. Pressures that crush titanium just 50 kilometers deeper. And that's before you reach the storms screaming below. At Saturn's cloud tops, the temperature plummets to minus 130 degrees Celsius, colder than any place on Earth. Breath fogs and then freezes. The air itself becomes a weapon. In these conditions, a human body loses heat so fast that muscle control fades in under a minute. Unconsciousness follows within 3 minutes. Even inside a suit, the cold seeps in. Electronics slow, batteries drain, and plastics turn brittle as glass. Cassini's thermal logs confirmed this. Exposed metal and wiring on the probe's outer shell reached cryogenic levels in seconds. For a crew, there is no time to react. Nerve signals crawl, vision blurs, heartbeats stagger, and then stop. The cold doesn't just threaten life, it sabotages every tool meant to protect it. Steel fractures, seals shrink, and the hull's integrity is already compromised before pressure even begins its assault. On Saturn, survival isn't measured in hours, it's measured in heartbeats. Pressure is the silent killer that follows the cold. Every meter down, Saturn's atmosphere grows heavier, squeezing the hull with invisible fists. At just 50 kilometers below the cloud tops, the pressure hits 1 megapascal, 10 times the pressure at the bottom of Earth's deepest ocean trench. Steel buckles, titanium warps, and even the thickest alloy shells begin to deform. The numbers are not abstract. A standard NASA-rated pressure vessel, tough enough for low Earth orbit, would implode within minutes as the atmosphere closes in. Cassini's own descent data showed that the pressure climbs so fast, no human-made structure can keep up. Internal supports snap. Welds pop. The hull bows inward, then crumples like a soda can under a hydraulic press. Inside, the air grows dense and hot, lungs cannot expand, blood vessels collapse, and bones grind into each other. There is no safe depth, no stable platform. Beyond 100 kilometers, hydrogen turns metallic, and even the strongest composites ever built would be flattened in seconds. On Saturn, the deeper you go, the faster you are destroyed. Wind becomes a weapon on Saturn. At the equator, jet streams roar past at over 1,800 kilometers per hour, fast enough to tear the wings off a fighter jet. These aren't breezes, they're invisible battering rams that slam into any spacecraft hull with a force that multiplies every second. Cassini's Doppler data clocked gusts that would shear off solar panels, rip open seams, and twist antennas into scrap. The dynamic pressure from these winds alone can buckle metal, snapping alloy joints that look indestructible on Earth. But Saturn's violence doesn't stop at wind. Lightning storms erupt with a fury that dwarfs anything seen in our skies. Each bolt unleashes up to 1 billion joules, enough energy to power a city block for hours. The electromagnetic pulse from a single strike can surge through wiring, frying computers in an instant and leaving the crew blind, deaf, and powerless. No shielding built for Earth's storms can withstand a barrage like this. On Saturn, The atmosphere itself is an executioner, shredding structures, shorting out electronics, and turning every exposed system into a liability. The deeper the descent, the more certain the destruction. And just as the shell is hammered from the outside, a new invisible threat waits to attack from within. Radiation on Saturn isn't something you see coming. It slips through holes, through skin, through bone. The planet's magnetic field traps swarms of high-energy electrons, an invisible storm that never lets up. Cassini's instruments measured electron fluxes near Saturn that spiked to 100 times what astronauts face on the International Space Station. In this environment, a human would absorb a lethal dose in less than 5 hours. That's not theory, it's basic math. At the levels recorded by Cassini, DNA shreds, cells die, and the nervous system begins to fail before the first day is over. The threat doesn't stop at living tissue. Each charged particle slams into circuit boards, flipping bits, frying processors, and corrupting memory. Even hardened electronics, shielded in centimeters of lead, fail in weeks. To survive, a crew would need shielding so thick it would double the mass of the ship. Fuel costs spike, maneuverability vanishes, and every extra kilogram becomes another nail in the mission's coffin. Radiation isn't dramatic, it is relentless. It erodes life and machine in silence, leaving nothing but a countdown. On Saturn, the clock always runs out. Every engineering blueprint for Saturn ends in the same place, a wall of unsolvable problems. Entry alone demands a heat shield thick enough to survive fluxes topping 1 megawatt per square meter. Yet even the most advanced ablative materials would vaporize before the capsule slows. Survive that, and you face a new dilemma. There is no ground to land on, only a bottomless ocean of hydrogen. The math for buoyancy is brutal. A single crew habitat would need a balloon the size of a skyscraper, over 1 million cubic meters, just to hover in place. But the winds would shred it, and the cold would turn its skin brittle. Even if you could keep the habitat warm, you would need more fuel to brake, hover, and power life support than any rocket could ever launch. Every technical fix piles on more mass, more risk, and less hope. There is no clever hardware solution. The mission design spirals into a dead end, and the only thing left is the weight of that realization on the people who tried to solve it. Cassini's final hour played out in silence, 1 billion miles from home. As the probe dove toward Saturn on September 15th, 2017, every command from Earth lagged by more than an hour. There was no rescue, no last-minute correction, just a slow fade into static. Cassini's last signals mapped a timeline of loss. Temperature sensors spiked, pressure readings jumped, then the telemetry flickered and died. If a human crew faced that same descent, isolation would become suffocating. The lightspeed delay means every call for help is already too late. Cassini's end was not just a technical footnote. It was a funeral for the idea that anyone or anything could survive Saturn's grasp. The probe's sacrifice stands as a warning. Even our best machines, guided by millions of minds, met only silence at Saturn's edge. Saturn isn't just unreachable, It's a warning in the sky. Today, our technology can't outsmart its violence. Some frontiers aren't meant for us. For now, Saturn keeps its secrets and its survivors out of reach.